I want to say thank you to all my fans, to my family, and to all my friends. All the ones cheering for me and for us to win and succeed. I want to say thank you to all of the pioneers out there for changing my life, but most importantly for supporting my dreams. From liking my posts to watching my episodes, for taking the time out of your day to hit the like and share button on your phones. And in case they didn't know, share this to all your friends because they'll never meet a community like this ever again. And we couldn't have been here without each other. So again, thank you. Because pioneers, you're the real champions. And what you believe in your hearts and speak in your minds will eventually become your words and your reality one day. And what you repeatedly do gets ingrained in your subconscious mindset. And what gets ingrained in your subconscious mindset becomes an unconscious action and an unconscious activity. And I've always wanted mine to be guideful, helpful, and nurturing to others. So I'm sending you all much love and high vibrations out here this Sunday night, February 5th, the full moon of Leo, the fiery Leo moon that is in Aquarius. And today's message for today's full moon, let it remind us that we have within us seeds of talent that need to be nurtured, watered, nourished so they can grow. But beneath them are layers of suppressed emotions that need to be acknowledged so that we can learn that we are not how we feel, but rather what's beneath all that we feel. There is an inner lion, an inner pioneer within all of us that can come to light with awareness and power of will. Because where there's will, there is a way. For that, pioneers, you need to develop a mental discipline and emotional awareness and start your daily affirmations. And remember, this word fiery, words have definitions, therefore they have meaning, consisting of fire or burning strongly and brightly. And you are the light, the fire, and don't let it go out. Remember, it's better to burn out than to fade away. So, sending you all much love. Let's kick this off. You know what it is. We're going to go ahead and get straight into the weekly technical analysis and market psychology. And I know you're looking at this and you're seeing some pretty, a lot of nonsense on the screen. And I guess a new viewer asked me in a message, was like, wanted me to talk about the markets and not all this nonsense and chicanery. And I'm like, what? What are you talking about, bro? What do you think the markets are? It's literally greed, fear. It's literally emotions. It's the biggest energy harvesting experiment of all time. Money. And humans fucking being obsessed with it and in love with it. The root of all evil is greed. Like, you want to know how many steps it takes to get to the point where you even know where the stock market or what the stock market is and what being an active investor is? It is like so unpopular when you really examine what is going on. Especially when you're talking about cryptocurrency and investing in cryptocurrency, because a lot of cryptocurrency investors, they are like in a trance of hypnosis and psychopathy, and they just follow what someone else says instead of doing their own work. They're tethered to looking at charts all day without responding. They just have emotion, fear, greed, etc. And that's a lot of people, and it blows my mind. We can be so much more. And these YouTubers or these people out here that will stop their whole day and stop their live stream and tweet about nonsense because the Fed is talking or some article comes out. It's like, man, talk about giving people the heroin needle and the just absolute nonsense. So talk about who's sharing nonsense. I'm not even a crypto YouTuber or crypto whatever enthusiast. I'm just an artist who loves to create and loves to take care of his family, and cream. Cash rules everything around me. Unfortunately, that's the world we live in. So I create unique shit around finance, economics, world, everything. The matrix, you know? The market ain't my creation, but people give their emotions like it is, like I did it, you know? Like, no, give your energy and emotions to things you can create. Spend 99% of the time in life creating, and the rest living instead of merely just existing. Okay? So, the thing about the market is cryptocurrency specifically, we're in a bubble, and we've been in a bubble, and a lot of our cryptos we've talked about over the last several, you know, months and weeks, we see that they lost a grandiose amount of their value from recent all-time highs, you know, to where we're at now, down 91% for things like XRP, Solana, even more, you know. And we've talked about a lot of this, down 95%. So, you know, a lot of cryptos are down, and after you lose 95, 94, 98% of your value, and then the coin just all of a sudden pops up in a straight line like Zilliqa, H-bar, V-chain, you know, it's a very normal thing. So when we say V-chain or H-bar or Zilliqa is pumping, well, look at the losses that it experienced over the last year before this moment of its so-called pumping, okay? It lost a grandiose amount of its market cap, 95% basically, you know? 94%, you know? This is a reaction to get people to FOMO in. This is how the market works, and the market maker manipulates it to get people to FOMO in euphoric rallies and sell in panic moments. And that's why I'm not buying right now. I've been dollar cost averaging over the last year. I don't need to buy. I got patience. I've been dollar cost averaging. I designed a blueprint, an investment thesis, a mindset, a skill, and a craft to get me to where I am today. I have an exit strategy for anyone else to purchase. That would have came in very handy last year if you did. You know, I know what's going on here, okay? I'm paying attention to what I've developed, okay? So, I know what I'm gonna do, and I planned it 6 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, and now I'm just chilling and waiting for this market to come to me so I can react and respond and not just react to these markets, okay? So very important that we just keep the fundamental mindset and thesis that we've got, okay? Some people may be brand new to all this, and they're feeling this sense of FOMO, and I'm not telling you to not buy or to buy. This is not financial advice. This is just education, entertainment purposes, documented from my journey through the digital decade and the new quantum financial system for my son one day, okay? So listen to your intuition and have an investment plan in place. Have a thesis in place, because the market maker, the composite man, the casino, they always win. Okay? Because people are too greedy and emotional. So work on your emotional state with these markets. We need to be better responders and leaders. Okay? So let's talk about a few things when it comes to technical analysis real quick. Let's just pay attention to this time period right back here last year on February 2nd, where we sold off in the markets, and then the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, all the way into the Super Bowl that was played on the 12th and 13th, where they aired the crypto commercials, first ever time during a Super Bowl, the Crypto Bowl. We just pumped straight after a sell-off on February 2nd, okay? So pay attention to where we're at right now. That was around the same time period of, guess what? A full moon. So it's not uncommon to see a bearish energy on, around, or after, before a full moon, and then a rally into the new moon. So you want to long the full moon and short the new moon. Not financial advice. We've shared this. So February 2nd, going all the way back, dating it back to basically where we're at right now, we're the full moon of February, the fiery Leo moon comes into effect. So not surprising to see this same downtrend holding support roughly of 22,700, a crucial, critical, horizontal range that we've been talking about that comes into play, okay? 227 is the 49th prime number, and we just exited out of the 49th year, which is known as the Shemitah, the 7th sabbatical year, which is the 49th year leading into this year, the Jubilee year. So again, holding this 49th prime number, 22,700 as support, very crucial, very critical right now. Getting this amazing on January 30th, the monthly close, or well, really the 31st was, but right there around the monthly close, this daily candle getting a massive pump from a low of 22,300, perfectly from our favorite lizard pals, Skull and Bones, Order 322, the Brotherhood of Death, our horizontal trading range that we knew if we got above, we can continue to climb up if we got above these two ranges. So still getting stopped out right now at this 23,700, not surprising. So let's continue to deep dive this even more. But first, let's talk about a few dates, because yesterday, today, they're very important days of why we're seeing this energy. Of course, it's Sunday, the day of the sun. Bitcoin is the sun, the energy of the market, the cryptocurrency market. It is Sol, Ra, Helios, okay? What it does, all other cryptocurrencies tend to follow, okay? So remember that. And it's the full moon today leading into tomorrow, Monday, Moon Day, the day of the moon. So very important that we pay attention to this. But we see it's a 222 day span from today, the full moon, until the upcoming start of this year's Rosh Hashanah, which is a multiple day event that leads into the end of the first day of Rosh Hashanah and then the end of the Jubilee, which highly ties us into Bitcoin being a 224 day span, and we know that ties us into Satoshi Nakamoto, Bitcoin's creator, giving us that 224, okay? But let's not get ahead of ourselves, alright? Let's take this back till the start of Rosh Hashanah, alright? Because today, till then, is a 222 day span. We just exited out of the 2022 year. We know that ties us into the sell-off we're seeing in the markets on the full moon today, because it's our elite's favorite motto, order out of chaos. You guys, sorry. Order out of chaos, giving us that same 222. Not surprising, okay? So, we could also tie this back to our psychological operation that we saw with and I won't say it, just to kind of try and slide under the radar, that affected a popular area of New York, where our stock market is ran, giving us that same 222. But ultimately, this is the key to the universe. One song, one sound, one voice, one verse. The key to the universe, that same 222, okay? So again, know the truth behind numbers. Find the deeper meaning. Don't just see a truth and think that you've met it. Truth is like an island. You get to an island and you roam around and you scour what's there, and then you see another island in the distance, and then you swim to it, and then you do the same thing over and over. It's like a Russian doll, okay? Remember that. So very important. But let's go ahead and get back into the dates. Just connecting this to this very powerful number right here. This 222. We know this started really yesterday as well, being a 223-day span until the start of Rosh Hashanah and the Jewish Hebrew New Year. So the 2-4 date, or 4-2, which is tied back to the mythologies. Zeus being the Jupiter symbol logo, the 2-4 date yesterday, very powerful, coming out of the year of the tiger last year, just entered the year of the rabbit, okay? But 2-4 is the mirror of 42 because it'd be internationally written as 4-2-2023. So that's tying us back into not only Jupiter, but Saturn as well, Kronos, God, the first God, the God of all gods, El, okay, so very important, Odin. So just wanted to bring this up, okay? Saturn giving us that 4-2. So it was yesterday a Saturn day, the day of Saturn, 223 days away from the first day of Rosh Hashanah coming up in 2023, which will be on a Friday. And that's important because this whole year ties back to Venus, and Friday is Freya Day, the day of Venus, and I've got that pulled up for you all right here. Shared it in our last video. Freya, okay, so very important. Friday, Freya Day, okay, the day of Venus. All right, so very important. We'll go back to the Superb Album. We'll be talking about that a little bit more later. Doing a little bit more decoding into the upcoming Super Bowl. So again, just seeing the end of the Jubilee coming up on September 17th, which is Patrick Mahomes' birthday. Very surprising. So again, he's tied in here. Chiefs equals 50. We're in the 50-year Jubilee. Patrick Mahomes' birthday is on the end of the Jubilee. So very, very powerful to keep this in mind, you guys. So very important. But let's go back. Any day, Friday, that Friday being, interesting, okay? The day of Aphrodite, okay? Getting this 2-2-3 connection, okay? So giving us a three-day window, okay? So tying us into all the way up until Tuesday, the day of Mars, which is tying us into Patrick Mahomes' birthday, giving us 222 days connections, but connected 222 days to February 7th. This is a very big day to me, I believe, okay? The 2-7, the internationally written 7-2. I'm looking forward to this because that ties us into Bitcoin, giving us that same 72, okay? Or money, giving us that same 72, or fiat, giving us that same 7227, internationally written, however you'd like to see it. Very important. We know XRP or Ripple gives us that same 27, but ultimately it's tying us back into, of course, Jupiter, the father of Venus, okay? So very important, okay? Awesome. Just want to get this out of the way and make sure I get deep into this decode. 3, okay. Alright. This day 2-7 adds up to 52 in numerology, being the 38th day of the year. That's pretty important because we know we're in the year of the rabbit, like we've been talking about. Rabbit, giving us that same 52, 25, that 12. Very important. We know that's also tying us into the NWO, giving us that same 52, the New World Order. But more importantly, is tying us into cryptocurrency, giving us that same 52 as well. Okay, so very important we just continue to make these connections. Okay, and Super Bowl LVII is coming up, giving us that same 52. Okay, so very important. Pay attention to cryptocurrency around this time period. Okay, so awesome. Just getting these multiple 52, 25 connections. Remember, in alchemy, we're always marrying numbers. Okay, awesome. 204, remove this 0, you're getting a 24, like we were getting in yesterday's date numerology, the 2-4, leading into today's full moon. Okay, so pretty cool. And then look, Sunday, September, the last day of Jubilee, is a 2-4 date numerology, tying us into Saturn and Jupiter, you guys. So this matters a lot when we're looking at these dates. Bitcoin hit a $69,000 top in the year of Saturn last year, the Shemitah year, which has everything to do with the god of the harvest, Kronos. Okay, the god of the harvest, Kronos, Odin. Okay, so very important when we pay attention and look at these connections. Irrefutable, undeniable. Okay, awesome. So let's see where we want to go from here. We got our dates taken care of. We'll just go ahead and get straight into the cryptocurrency technical analysis and go from there. We're going to be talking about, of course, some more Super Bowl decode here and there. Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and if I can, before the end of the night, we'll get to some Hedera Hashgraph, Zilliqa, and VeChain as well. Let me grab a quick drink of water. Alright, let's do this. See where we want to go. Obviously, Bitcoin first. Take up too much of your time. Sorry, you guys. Just had a brain fart. Didn't know where I want to start. I remember what we talked about. We got a lot going on, so we'll just kind of clear this up a little bit, and we see we got this peak that we broke right here at around 21,400, 21,500, that sudden destruction range. We haven't really back tested it yet. We've just, had rejections and then shot out of it on the 20th, Friday Day. Not surprising, 2 days before the start of the year of the rabbit. Okay, so very important. So coming back to this area would also align very nicely with this, outside of a probably trend line. If we were to, it's really hard to, yeah, there it is. It'd be very healthy if we were to come back and, it's not the trend line I want to draw. If we move this like this, yeah, it'd be pretty healthy to just come back and retest into around 21,000. And once we do that, if we hold support and come back and break back above 22,300, 22,700, I mean, this thing is gonna pop. I mean, all the way up to minimum target of around low 30s, 30,000, and then to the 32,200, 322, skull and bones, and if we get above that, we can go to, 40 fast, real quick. Okay, so just something that we need to pay attention to when it comes to what we've been talking about. Just confirming an automatic rally that we were seeing coming around that April, May eclipses leading into March. So, go back, watch some of the work if you're new here, and see what we've been talking about using technical analysis, dates, numerology, etc., math. So, let's see where we're at from our low. How many days away from our 250 days would be, wow, February 23rd, 223. Drop the zero in that 250 days, and that's giving us 25, tying us into BTC 25 or Rabbit 25 in the year that we are in, the Water Rabbit year. Okay, so let's pay attention to this February 22nd, the 222 or the 223, the 224 that ties us into Satoshi Nakamoto being a 250 day span. This could be a very important time period where we could see some volatility coming up. That's a new moon time period. I do believe. New moon on February 20th. So it'd be roughly, 3 days past the new moon. So we tend to see bearish or bullish energy around the new moon 3 to 5 days before, on, or 3 to 5 days after. So this will be 3 days after 223 days on the 223 day of the year, February 23rd, in the 223 year. Okay, so very important. And it wouldn't be surprising if we move up noticeably by the 20th, because we had our peak on February 2nd, the 2-2 day. So the new moon's on February 20th. Drop the zero, that's 2-2 in the 223 year. So this 22 we know ties us into reset, giving us that same 22. Okay, recycle, giving us that same 22, or change, giving us that same 22. So we know around the 21st or 22nd of the month, we tend to see a microstructure reset and recycle in the markets, and it tends to bring, a lot of the times, a microstructure low. It's just how it plays out. We'll just have to continue to see what happens. So very important. This is work we've been sharing with you for months, repetitively, like a broken record for 2+ years now. So let's continue on in this video. Alright. We know Bitcoin just unleashes fierishly. It like the fiery Leo moon, full moon, it can just pop out of nowhere. So I hope we've been ready for this over the last several days, weeks, months. We've been dollar cost averaging, trading, de-risking, accumulating, teaching you how to do the same. So very, very beautiful to see this play out like we've been expecting. Getting back into, again, Mercury station in retrograde just tends to lead to a sideways choppy born period, or just leading to a pump, and it's just amazing to see that play out in the cards. So very important. One more thing was getting back into our previous liquidity ranges that we haven't seen since back in August of 2022, so several months, but still failing to break a $25,000 top, breaking this 251, 252. I'm staying in the 252 right now, area code. Imagine that, synchronicity. But until we do that, we're still setting lower highs, so that's bearish. But finally getting back up into this liquidity range is a bullish sign if we can hold this $22,030, or this $22,700, $22,300 that we've talked about. So very important. Let's keep that in mind again, and we can come back down to 21, get bought back up, and it be healthy, and it give this RSI time to cool off, you guys. because we know we've talked about this bearish divergence that we may speak about in a few. So let's talk about a trend line that we've been discussing. What's the 137? It's our 33 chart, the 137 chart. Rosh Hashanah started on September 25th. Let's see what 137 days is real quick while we're right here. 137 days from the start of Rosh Hashanah will be, wow, February 9th. The 2/9 date, or internationally written 92, coming out of the Shemitah year, you guys. Very important, giving us that same 25 we get in rabbit, 92. Okay, so let's pay attention to this February 9th, the 2/9 date. Let's look at that really quick, see if we can get any connections. Being 220 days. Oh, let's just look at this date. It's the 40th day of the year, adds up to 18. We know we get that 18 in Christ, 18. Okay, so pretty important. 5 plus 4 is 9, 54. I'm not seeing anything other than the 18 that's pretty significant, unless we tie it back to the first day of Rosh Hashanah. Being a 77-month, 6-day time period, that's tying us into skull and bones. I mean, we can at least make that connection. Of course, they're part of the 33 club, you know. So, giving us that same 76. So, 202, we were talking about it being a 220-day span from the end of the Jubilee. So 202 dropped to 0, it's still 22. So very important. Let's just pay attention to this, you guys. 313, March 13th of 2020. They shut the world down. The orange guy handed control over to FEMA, you know. So very important. Let's just pay attention to this. I like to find just connections like that on the fly. But we'll get back into this trend line and this automatic rally that we've been speaking on for repetitively several weeks now. So hopefully you've all done your own due diligence, prepared, and you're ready to take action in the next few months. So this trend line we've been looking at for a while on another chart, but we kind of have adjusted it slightly. And the adjustment is very small, but it's amazing. And you can see it's holding on most of the selling climax of 2019, okay? And then C19, Black Swan, it, you know, is bought up easily. It liquidated us, it didn't last long, and then boom, popped into a price discovery, and then came right back down to this trend line, tested it, and then we came back down. Okay, so after this buying climax, we perfectly tested this line, and it also came in line with this descending trend line as well that gave us this falling wedge pattern. That's why we're getting our breakout. Okay, so we got this resistance, a break. What our right now our bottom is before a breakout. So right now this is a clean macro trend line, and once we get it back above it and clear 25,000 in the rabbit year and hold that as support, I mean, we can really see 32,200, 322 in the 223 year, you guys. I mean, easily, and even higher. Start de-risking around as high as 48,000 coming into April 5th, Satoshi Nakamoto's 48th birthday. That would just be mathematically, algorithmically pre-programmed to a T, you guys. So very important. Okay, so let's zoom in on the daily. All right, and let's draw just a little trend line. I don't like to, let's change this real quick. Quit the extension. Let's do it like this. Yeah, I don't like to really draw short trend lines unless it's like a multiple grandiose view. I mean, you know, this is really just tertiary. It doesn't really mean a lot, but we are holding some wick closes, multiple touch points, you know, giving us some significant importance to pay attention to, because if we break this 22,700, we can break down to 21,000 fast, you know, maybe even feel this CME futures gap that we know is right here at around, we'll just be conservative and say 197. Okay, you know, who knows? So very important. Again, the market's open in the morning, so consider all of this. Okay, so 21,000, if we fall to it this week, is just a mirror of 12, which is another connection to rabbit. Okay, you guys, so you know, tying us into Saturn. All right, Saturn didn't go down there, but you know the drill. It's been 3 years we've made this connection, giving us 21. But tomorrow's Monday, Moon Day, and Moon gives us 21 as well, the mirror of 12. Gave us that 23. Bitcoin gave us that 23. We're currently at 22,000, falling below 23,000, you know, so very important. So let's just pay attention to this. All right, but 25k clearing this would be perfect if we clear it by the end of the month, you know, around the new moon, around the 223 day. You know, that would be amazing and algorithmically pre-programmed to head into our targets of possibly 32,200. 3, 2, 1, go. You know, the pioneers here on the Daily Candle Close News are seeing this like an Ada Wands birth card. We were born. Okay, you know, seeing this come into fruition. Let's see what happens, though. I'm not predicting. I'm just using the past analysis with my mindset, mad scientist behind the scenes, to see what happens. Okay, I'm giving you my foresight. Okay, and if it does this can really bring a rally to the altcoins. Remember that, you guys, and that could be good for us. You know, so let's look at the. Okay, alright, let's clear up the drawings on this 33 chart. Let's look at the daily, let's look at the RSI, because we've talked about this bearish divergence. And I mean, yeah, we're just in a perpetual downtrend on this RSI now, so pay attention, because we're folding over fast now after this rally. You know, we were getting high, lower high, but we were setting high, higher high. So it's not surprising to see the price pull back with a bearish divergence. Okay, so we were getting 95 RSI on the 12-hour time frame. On the daily time frame, we were in the, wow, I mean, in the 88s, almost 90s. So this uptrend we knew was not healthy, and against all practical technical analysis. So breaking below 22,300 is in alignment with, let's draw, damn, I'm gonna have to pull the fields up. Better chart. If we pull a fib from our swing high to swing low, last year. Yeah. I don't even remember what I was talking about, you guys, to be honest. I think I was talking about holding this 22,300, and if we can't hold that, then it'd be sensible of a pullback before we rally up to this 236 at around $26,000. That's what I think I was trying to get at. So I'm sorry about the mistake there. But there you go. I think that's a big sign for us to pay attention to. You know, this 236 is red hot, red heated until we break out above. Okay, so today's close, where we closed the market on the RSI at 61, you know, this is close to almost resetting at 50. Okay, so we can still pull a little bit down, but we're just gonna have to see how the rest of the week plays out with the stock market opening tomorrow. That's gonna be pretty important. Okay, so let's look at some Bollinger Bands real quick. And yeah, we're holding the median of the Bollinger Band, but we can easily swipe down to that 21,500, that sudden destruction range. We know that that's a very important horizontal trading range that we have on this chart right here. So easily, looking at the Bollinger Bands, we can fall to this 21,500 and be bought back up. It wouldn't be surprising to get this bearish energy around the full moons. So let's pay attention to some simple moving averages on the daily time frame. We're closing dailies now below the 8 simple moving average. That is not good. That is bearish, pioneers, but that can bring us all the way down to this easily 1993. Feel the CME gap to this 200 and this 55. Unless this 55 can bullish pioneer cross this 200 on the daily, I mean, you know, we could easily see a sell-off. It wouldn't be uncommon, you guys. So very important we pay attention to this. Okay, just looking at some simple moving averages, but let's look at some exponential moving averages. Alright, so same thing. Alright, but the 200 the 200 exponential moving average, this pink one, is sitting exactly at $21,000, 21,300. Okay, so not surprising. We've been talking about that. So easily could retest that. Retest this 21 exponential moving average at 223. If we close any hourly, 6-hour, 12-hour candles, daily candles below that, get ready to short the market. Not financial advice. And then get ready to, you know, position to long, because we're probably going to hold support of one of these moving averages, possibly fill this gap, and then be on our way. Not financial advice. You know, still ultimately setting a higher high, and a low, which is a higher low. So that's a beautiful sign, you guys. So closing the two-day, and we're holding the 8 exponential moving average. That's the 13. So that's bullish. All right, that's bullish. So we could come all the way back down to this 21 on the 2-day, which would be 21,100, 211. That's a date coming up. The 211 day. We know that's a penal code for police. They use it for 211. But it's the day that adds up to 56 in numerology, but it's the 42nd day of the year, and it's the day leading into the Super Bowl. The day leaving 322 days left in the year. So let's pay attention to this 2/11 date, but we sold off after the Super Bowl around the 13th last year for cryptocurrency, so not surprising. So that's where our low came in around before we pumped up to the 15th, and then on 2/16 last year we sold off even more in the markets, and that 2/13, well, that ties us into the Superb Owl Bowl that we are talking about. Superb Owl, the Bohemian Grove, you guys, and when you guess what, type that out in numerology, that you're getting that 2/13. So let's go ahead and do that real quick, and guess what else you get? Superb Owl Bowl, tying us into the Bohemian Grove, folks, giving us that same 75, 57, that 138, and this 2/13, Super Bowl 57. Okay, all roads lead to Rome, but this 138, we knew when you tied Rosh Hashanah back to the start of the Super Bowl, was a 138-day time period, all by a code, you guys. Irrefutable, undeniable. You can't make this shit up. So, getting back into the technical analysis and the cryptocurrency, before we, fry too many of your circuits, let's look back at our exponential moving averages on the 2-day time frame that we closed today. So I do see this 21 setting at a key level around 21,100, right below that 21,500. So that 21,500 is critical. We can even go down to this 34 or this 55 and close this CME gap. I mean, it could be a year from now, but if we were to do it real quick and be bought right back up, do not be surprised, okay? Just have limit orders set to accumulate, and if we get this opportunity and it does this, great. If not, then we're going to hold support around one of these ranges and continue up. Irrefutable, undeniable. As long as we continue to consolidate and let this RSI cool off, some of these other oscillators cool off. So, back here we had a little bit of a fake out, and that was for Satoshi Nakamoto's 47th birthday, where we hit 47k, and then we just ended in a perpetual downtrend. So we got above these moving averages, but it was a fake out. So we can easily get above this 200 on the 2-day, but it be a fake out, of 26, 27k, and then come right back down. So remember that, okay? So where we're sitting at right now is perfectly at a good opportunity to learn, okay? If we were to pull back, retest some of these ranges, that would be a solid back test. If we were to get up, hit, get rejected, get above, and then come back down, it would be completely healthy as well, okay? Nothing out of the ordinary, okay? So let's look at the 5-day. Oh yeah, okay. If we can get this 21 above this 34 and this 13, this black above this 34, we can be in bullish posture as long as we get 5-day closes above this 55 that we're getting stopped out at, and then get these above this 55. I mean, we can be in almost full open alligator mouth on the 5-day time frames. If we can see that, all those get back into a bullish posture over the next several days, weeks, then this should continue into the finality of an automatic rally, possibly all the way up to that 30 to 50k. We'll begin, that's a large range, I know, but it's really not with cryptocurrency. So our weekly close came in today, and we held the 200. So very, very important. The 34, 200, all this very important. So we got to pay attention to what happens moving forward, with where we close this weekly, and now we're starting tomorrow, February 6th, is next weekly candle. So this is a bullish engulfing right here, so that's a good thing, but we are in a downtrend still, so around the full moon. So but this is healthy, okay? So not surprising right here around the full moon. This could just be all ritualized around the full moon to get this pullback before we continue up. So all right, I think that's pretty much it for Bitcoin. Getting into Ethereum now, you guys, because we haven't spoken about it recently, but I mean, it's just repetitive nonsense, same thing over and over. So we're gonna be speaking about them a little bit faster, and just getting into where we've been at, okay? What we've been seeing going on, the things we've already discussed. Alright, so we're going to start off by looking at this on the daily time frame, and we see we're just still holding and getting back to our W pattern breakout that we talked about, and just holding support horizontally roughly at around 16,000, in between 15,000 and getting stopped at around 17,000. So just chopping in this range. Don't got a lot to say right now while Bitcoin is doing what it's doing and trying to figure out what it's going to do next. These altcoins are doing the same thing. I know ETH's an altcoin, or not really. I mean, it's the second best crypto. You know what I mean. But anyways, I think this trend line is going to play a role coming up in the near distant future. So we're going to extend that and see if we can get up to around 1900. This 1900, 100, 1912, who knows? Just $1,900, 2000. If we can get back above it, who knows? If we can break this top right here, because we've broken this, so we do have a higher high, but we're still setting a lower high compared to these previous highs. This was a broadening falling wedge pattern that tends to have a breakout, okay? So came back, fell below, came out. It didn't quite retest. We knew we didn't have to. We knew we were holding a horizontal structure with higher lows for several months. So not surprising, okay? So a lot of this we've already talked about. So below 1500, we're working on the correction to continue down to around 13. I'd say 1350 to 1370. 137, the 33rd prime number, tying us into something right there at around 1400. We know ETH equals 14, gives us that 33. So $1,370, the 33rd prime number. We can see if that's possible, okay? So we keep getting up to this $1,700 range, and we keep folding over. So it's really until we break this high at around 1,700 and 2,000. Roughly right there at around 2022, right there at around $2,023, 223. Wow, not surprising. So let's look at some exponential moving averages. Okay, so we can possibly retest this 55 at around 1400. Not surprising, this trend line. That would be ideal to get a recovery, an accumulation along the market, not financial advice. Let's look at the simple. Yeah, easily that 200, that 55, that 1400 even, like we've been talking about. Not surprising, you guys. So overall, if we fail to hold this median, we can easily swipe down. But I'm still bullish that we're in an automatic rally, a bullish pattern to play out, okay? So when I see these confirmations, we need to pay attention to what's going on, okay? I'm keeping my bias bullish, but I'm thinking of a short-term pullback, okay? Just keep that in mind, alright? So let's go ahead and let's get into XRP real quick and see if maybe we can smash out a few other altcoins. I don't know. If not, I'll definitely get them in the next video. Oh man, this is just messy, you guys. We already failed to hold the median of the Bollinger Band on the daily. I don't like that. What I don't like is this looks like a left shoulder, crown, Bart Simpson top head, right shoulder. It's great that we broke out of this trend line, but we know we can tend to come back down and, you know, set a lower low. We have for over a year. Every time we've got above, retested whatever we did to this trend line. So it wouldn't be uncommon to see XRP just do exactly the opposite of everything else, okay? This is not a pattern-based asset. It moves whenever it needs to, and it moves how these elites want it to, and it's based on gematria. So there's a very important level of 40 cents that we've lost, okay? We're at 39, and there's another one right there at around 38, the 3/8. 8, 16, 24. XRP's logo is the X. X is the 24th letter in the alphabet, so it's not surprising to see this range of 38 cents, you know, coming in the cards if we were to head down, you know. So that's tied to Jupiter, you know, X being the 24th letter. Jupiter's logo is the 24, what we've shared with you. Oh, right there. Boom. So very important. So we just keep snaking around this 38 cents, going all the way back to 2022. So very important, you know. Just hopefully you see how this ties in here. All right, take notes here, use the numbers, few different ways to perceive them, okay? So if we see Bitcoin get below 22,300, then there's a sign we can possibly retest 36 cents, 35 cents, and then possibly the outside of this trend line. Very nice to come back into 32.2, 31 cents, 30 cents, and then back up, you know. So who knows, we may just hold support at this 35 cents. This like, I don't want to call this a W pattern breakout because this liquidity whatever, but I mean just this interesting W pattern type breakout. But this 35, 37, 35 cent area could be possible, you know. Lionel Messi was 35, he just won the World Cup. This 35 is 3 fives, 3 times 5 is 15. XRP equals 15, okay? Very important. So let's pay attention to this, okay? That's enough for me to see possibly one more fake out and then just continue on up, get to 44, 47, the 15th prime number, and then eventually 51, the mirror of 15. But it would probably take Bitcoin breaking above 30K to see the 50 cent or more range for XRP. And I do see us, if Bitcoin goes to 40, possibly 48K, a 76, 86 cent to $1 again XRP in the near distant future. I mean, this thing has been suppressed for 5 years, and I don't think it's going to happen in 2023 that it just erupts. I think it might make it to that dollar, but the real eruption will probably be next year, in the 24 year, the X year, the X 24th letter, you know, tied to the Greek omega symbol, okay, tying us into Jupiter, you know. So you're hearing it here right now. So it's 12:30, you guys. With all that being said, possibly back testing 35 cents for XRP. I doubt we're going to be going much lower than 33, 32 cents in the 322 year, 223 year, unless there's some kind of isolated event around XRP again, like the narratives we see. But I'm going to go ahead and leave this one here. We will come out and talk about HBAR, Zilliqa, and VeChain in the next one. But take care, God bless, and have a blessed one. Pioneers rise, build your fortress, and build your legacy.